Hidden away in Colorado's northern Front Range, Eldora Ski Resort offers everything from easy beginner terrain to thrilling steep glades. Although it has the oldest operating chairlift in Colorado, the rest of the mountain has modern infrastructure and an excellent snowmaking system to ensure plenty of groomed runs all season long. Eldora also boasts a Woodward terrain park for freestyle slashers. When it snows, the glades are a free-riding paradise of natural features. We are Jeff and Jennifer with Snowboard Traveler. Welcome to Eldora. So what does it feel like going back to the first ski resort you learned how to snowboard on?
This is where it all began, There were a lot of tears shed here, but it's nice to be back and actually explore beyond one green run.
Eldora Ski Resort is a 40-minute drive from Boulder, Colorado, and an hour and 15 minutes from Denver through narrow, winding canyon roads. The closest town is Nederland along the picturesque peak-to-peak byway. Eldora draws locals who want to avoid Interstate 70 ski traffic, but it can get crowded on the weekends too. The resort has limited parking, so get there early or reserve a spot online ahead of time. There are 2 lodges at the base area. Indian Peaks Lodge has tickets, rentals, and some food. The other lodge is Timbers, with an espresso bar, breakfast burritos, tap room, and coffee house. It's the perfect place to start and end the day.
Eldora has 7 chairlifts to access 3 mountains. Little Hawk Mountain by the base area has all the beginner terrain and the Woodward Terrain Park. The front side of the resort covers Challenge Mountain with intermediate groomers and jolly glades. Along the ridge is Indian Peaks for more groomers and glades. Last, ride the backside into Corona Bowl and up Ryan Mountain to the highest point on the resort. The further over glades have the steepest terrain and best powder riding.
Intermediate and advanced riders can start the day taking Alpenglow high-speed lift to the top of Challenge Mountain. This relatively new, speedy lift ensures the line keeps moving. There are several groomed cruisers back down to the base area to warm up the legs before ripping the advanced runs. This frontside area can be a good starting point, but can also be a stopping point later in the day after exploring terrain further back on the resort. We rode through the Jolly Glades mid-afternoon and they lived up to their name, holding overlooked powder and bringing lots of smiles.
From the top of Alpenglow, traverse over to Indian Peaks Lift for more intermediate groomers. Some of the intermediate runs are marked slow zones to cater to those still learning and eager to explore more of the resort. There are challenging runs in Indian Peak Area 2, with steeps and glades under the lift.
On a powder day, it's best to head to the backside into Corona Bowl. There are several speedy groomers, but it's more fun in the trees. There's a traverse at the top along West Ridge Trail leading to Salto and Moose Glades, which have the steepest terrain and best powder riding at the resort. Some of the glades were dense, but we carved through the natural terrain full of jips and jumps. The Gully Glades and Brian's Natural Halfpipe were fun as well. There is so much to explore in this area of the resort. At the top of Corona Chair is the lookout cabin for lunch with a view of the divide on clear days.
On the way back to the base area, ride the long traverse between Bryan and Challenge Mountains. Eventually you'll get over to Little Hawk Mountain. Little Hawk is where you'll find the Woodward Terrain Park and a smaller halfpipe. Though slow, the park has a dedicated lift and several well-built features. I was hoping for beginner to medium progression jumps to start the day, but there were only 1 or 2 small features. I had to dive into the medium to large features for anything interesting, and overall was underwhelmed by what this Woodward branded park offered.
The last area of the resort, tucked to the far side, are the mellow beginner runs to practice and learn. For a smaller Colorado ski area, Eldora had surprisingly good terrain and is well worth a visit en route to a destination resort farther west. The powder day helped with the steeps and glades in Corona Bowl, and the groomers were well maintained and speedy.
Thanks for joining us today at Eldora Ski Resort. We'll see you at the next mountain.